Are you finally ready to create your own website this year? Great. In this video, you'll learn how to make your own website, and we'll cover it step by step so you can get it up and running quickly. Building any website, whether it's your side project, a hobby, your next business venture, or an e-commerce store, it requires usually the same basic steps, so we'll cover all of those. Don't worry though, I'll explain what each step means as we go along. But this is the broad outline that we'll cover with this video. First, you'll get a hosting account. Then you'll get a domain name. That's your web address that everybody will go to. Next, you'll learn how to install WordPress. Then the bulk of the tutorial will be spent on creating your website. So if you're ready, let's get started. When you're building a website, it's very similar to what's happening when you build a house. You have the land that you need to use to put the house on. That's the same as the hosting provider. The hosting provider has servers that all of your files and folders will go on. Next, you have an address, and that's so people know where to find you. And the address is your domain name or your web address. You want to start building your website, and your website is your home. That's what houses all of your files, all of your images, the color structure, the way that it looks, the functionality of it via the plugins. Finally, you have your mailbox, which is your email address, and that's how people can contact you. And all of these come together to make up your whole website on the web. Now, at WP Beginner, we recommend using Bluehost as your hosting provider. They have great customer support. They are one of the oldest, most established hosting companies out there. They're officially recommended by the WordPress.org organization, and WP Beginner users can get 60% off and a free domain by using our discount code. From here, just click on the big green Get Started button, and it'll take you to the Select Your Plan page. You can choose your plan here. The biggest difference between these two is with this one, it's very basic, and you're only allowed one website. Whereas with this one, if you have web addresses or multiple websites that you want to set up, then this might be the best one for you. After you've chosen which setup you want, go ahead and sign up with a new domain name that you want since it comes free, and click Next. From here, you want to go ahead and create your account by filling in all of this information. And then down here, you want to verify the package information. I would say that your domain privacy you don't need. We normally just turn that off. Things like backup site and site locker, there are a lot of great plugins and features available within WordPress, so you don't need that either. Once you fill out all the information, you see the amount that's being discounted. Now just fill in your payment information and you'll have your hosting account set up. After you set up your account, you'll see this screen where they ask you to create a password. This is a secure password for you to log into your Bluehost account. Once you create the password, they will start setting up the account for you. One of the great things about Bluehost is now they've made installing WordPress even easier. From here, you can select a theme that you might like to go with your site. Since I'll be walking you through the whole process, let's go ahead and skip this step. And now they automatically set up WordPress for you. You no longer have to go into your Bluehost account and install WordPress and go through that process. Once we get everything set up, you can click Start Building and we'll be taken to the back end of our WordPress dashboard where we can start customizing it. All right, now we have our website. This is the dashboard that you'll see when you first log into your website. And we can just say no thanks. Bluehost has added a few extra items on our website, so we're going to go in and do a little bit of cleanup before we import everything. So let's head over to our plugins area. The plugins are extended functionality that you can add to your website to make it do more for you. And this is some of the power of having a WordPress installation. But I want to clean up some of this stuff, so I'm going to click these items and I'm going to click bulk action drop down. Let's go ahead and deactivate these items. And once we've deactivated them, I want to go ahead and delete them as well. Yeah, let's go ahead and delete these files and all the data as well. Okay, once that's done, now you see that it's cleaned it up a little bit, and now we're just to our base WordPress dashboard. All right, now that we have WordPress installed and we've cleaned up some of the default plugins that we didn't want, let's quickly just take a look at what our website looks like right now. To do that, let's hover over and right-click on this area and click Open into a new tab so we can see the front end of the website. This is what mine looks like. This is the 2017 free theme that comes with the current installation of WordPress. Yours may look a little bit different. On the left, you see the blog posts that are coming up, and this is the default Hello World that comes with every installation of WordPress. On the right is the sidebar area. Down below, you have the footer area that can be customized as well. And typically, if you have any pages, like contact us, about us, and things like that, we could have those here as well. We currently don't have any pages, so you don't see a menu item. These are all the things that we will be customizing next. To do that, I'm going to close out of my website and let's head back over to our WordPress dashboard. Many of the things that you do for your website will be from the dashboard area, and we'll go over a few of these items on the left. Most of the items you'll be using when you're working with your WordPress website are your posts. Those are your post articles or your blog articles. Your pages, those are things like your about or contact us. Things like services if you're doing a business website. The appearance area is where you go to change the way that your website looks. Plugins, we haven't talked much about plugins, but those are like little apps that you can add to your website that make your website do more things. Things like if you want to create a shopping cart for your website, you would add a shopping cart plugin. Or if you want to add a contact us form, you could add that plugin as well. There are thousands and thousands of plugins that extend the functionality of your website to do practically anything you can imagine. And we'll cover a couple of those as well. And then finally, you have the settings area where it helps to set up the general settings of your website. But for now, let's look at appearance. Appearance themes is where you can go to find a new theme for your website. If you have multiple themes, they'll all be shown here. As you see, my current theme is the 2017. To look at some themes, we can go click on the Add New area. And from here, that's pulling in all of the free themes available to you from the WordPress repository. These are all themes that have been reviewed by a review team to make sure that they work properly with WordPress. Because there are so many themes, they have some filtering abilities up here. You can either go by the featured area. These are the most featured themes right now, and there are currently 15 of them that are being featured right now. You can click on popular to see what are the most downloaded themes. And of course, these will be the most popular because they actually come with the installation of WordPress. So you can keep looking and find a theme that works for you. You can also look at the most recently uploaded themes. Favorites is if you have favorites that you've added, so you can choose from your own favorites. What a lot of people like to do is go by featured filter, meaning if you already know what your website, what you want it to do, or some of the things that are important for you, then you can just go in here and click on them. For instance, we can click on a blog. If you're wanting to set up an e-commerce, you can do that as well. If you know the type of layout that you want your site to show, then you can do that. Most websites are 2 columns where you have in the main area is the post or your page, and then usually on the right hand side is a sidebar. So we'll apply those filters and we'll see what comes back. Again, you can spend hours looking through all of this, and this really just depends on what type of website you want to create. So take a little bit of time and pick the one that you want. And don't worry, if you need to change the theme later on, you can do that without any issues. The beauty of WordPress is you'll still keep all of your posts and all of your pages, even if you change themes. For this tutorial, I'm going to keep the 2017 theme because it's actually a really nice theme. It's very clean and easy to use, but we'll customize it now. What I want to do now is, first off, I'm going to go ahead and maximize this so we get a little bit more screen area, but I'm going to set up a few pages. The difference between a post and a page is a page is a more static thing. Things like your About Us page that doesn't ever change, but you want it to show on, say, a menu area. Your Contact Us page, your services, if you're building a business website, those types of pages are static. They rarely ever change. And then your posts are the articles or the things that you share, and it's usually in a chronological order. They're time-stamped and they usually show the author. So let's go in under Pages and click Add New. And from here, this is the typical setup for a page or a post, but we know that we're under Pages because it says that. I want to do an About Us. We'll add a little bit of information. You can do that as well. And up here you have formatting abilities to make things go bigger, smaller, make them bold. If you're used to Google Docs or Microsoft Word, then you're used to this type of what you see is what you get text editor. If you're a little bit more advanced and you want to work off of the HTML, then you can click on the text area and type it out. Another area you have is up here is the add media. That's where you can go to click on and add images that you want to show on your website. For instance, I'll add the WP Beginner logo, and then you can insert it there. You can make changes by clicking on the image and making the alignment say align left, where all of the text will go on the right. You can align right, where all the text will go on the left. You can align center, which may or may not get text, or do no alignment whatsoever. Over on the right, you can either save it as a draft. If you're continuing to work on this and you're not ready to publish it for everyone to see, you can simply save draft and it's only viewable to you once you log in. Once you're ready for it, then you can click publish and then it'll be ready for everyone to see. So we'll publish that. I'll also create a contact us page really quickly. We're going to publish that. And in a little bit, when we talk about plugins, we'll actually come back to this so that we can add a contact us form to this using a plugin. All right, now we can go to all pages and we can see all of our pages that we have available. The sample page comes with the default installation of WordPress, and you can delete that. To delete anything or to view any of this, you just hover over this and you see these new options pop up. So those two we like and we'll keep those. Now that we have some pages, I want to go over and create a menu. To do that, let's do Appearance, Menus, and we need to create a new menu. So I'll click on Create New Menu. We need to give it a name. This will be our main menu. Click Create Menu. Now that we have Click Create Menu, we can come over here and choose all of these options to bring under our menu. I'm going to click on this one and this one, or we could even do Select All and click Add to Menu, and you'll see they'll move over here. When you get into things like categories, if you have a website about bicycles and you want to talk about bicycles, bicycle frames, tires, those are different categories that you can do. And you can create these categories here and then add them over as well. If you have an important post that you want, you can bring that over as a menu item as well. And finally, if you have a custom link, maybe something that goes to a different website, but you want it up at the top of your menu structure, you can add that. The menu structure will look like this on your page, but you can, when you left click, drag it, you can bring these up or down. You can also nest them so that when you're looking at the menu, if you hover over this, there'll be a drop down. You see that with this indentation. We're going to bring this back out and keep it like that. Down here under menu settings, for this particular theme, we have two different display locations. One is the top menu, one is what they're calling the social links menu. And every theme will be different. So this one is just for this particular 2017 theme that we're working with. I want this to go in the top menu area. So when we're finished with that, let's go ahead and save the menu. And now I want to show you what that looks like. So we'll go to Visit in a new tab. And now you see my site, and now we have our menu area here. And that's what we've worked on. And when I click on that, it will show the About Us page. Again, the way that this is laid out is specific to the 2017 theme. Yours may look different. All right, now that we have the menu set up, let's go ahead and take a look at some ways that we can customize our theme that we've selected. To do that, we can go to Customize. When I click Customize, I can see over on the right a preview of my website, and you see these little pencil areas. These are the things that we can edit. For instance, when I click on that, it takes me to the header area where you can either attach a video or add a new image. If you want to change the header image, we can just click on Add New Image and upload the file. There are several royalty-free images that you can find on the web. Unsplash is one of the most popular ones that you can use. I'm going to give it a title and you want to add the alt text. The alt text is for people who use a screen reader to help them know what's on the page. So you definitely want to enter the information there. We'll pick that. And if it's too large, then it's going to say select and crop. If not, then it'll just say insert. So we want to adjust our image for the best that we think it looks like. That looks pretty good. So I'll crop the image. And now that becomes my new background for my header image. Now the beautiful thing about the customize area is right now this is not even on here. It's for my preview only. Nothing becomes live until I click publish. So that's the beauty of that. So we dealt with the header image. Maybe we want to change what my site title is. If you're a big foodie, then maybe you can do that. You can also choose to display the site tagline and the site title here. If you don't want a tagline, just remove that. For a site icon with this theme, with most themes, they show the site icon. That's the little guy up here. So the site icon is this little favicon is what we used to call it. You can select that image as well. As you see, you want to make sure that it's 512 by 512. This area is for the menu area. We've already dealt with that. And now I want to show you a different way that you can work with these items. If we scroll all the way up, see this new tab area with this arrow. If we click on that, we'll see all of the items here that we can work with. We've been in site identity here, and now let's look at the colors. For the color scheme, you can choose light, dark. I'll give a dark area for my website, or you can customize it and choose the color here. And as you see when I'm clicking on them, the colors are changing for the hyper. I'm going to stay with the light color scheme. And we already dealt with the header media. We chose that. We'll go back. We dealt with the menus, widgets. The widgets are these items over here. For this particular theme, there are 3 widgets to choose from. The blog sidebar, which are these right here, and these are all separate widgets. You have a footer 1 and a footer 2, which are down here. So let's fix the blog sidebar theme widget first. As you see, these are all in order. We have the search right here. We're showing our recent posts here, recent comments, our archives, our categories, and our meta. The meta was a simple way that you could add to your site so that you could easily log in or log out. So we can choose what to keep and what to remove. I'm actually going to remove the meta. So I want to just click on the little triangle to expand it and remove. I'm going to do that with a few of these others that I want to remove. And now we're left with the search and recent posts. You can also add a widget here. And when you click add, it'll show you all the ones that you have right now at your disposal. Scrolling down, you can just look through them all to see which one works best for you. Now I've removed those 2, I'll actually want to go back because I want to add something at the footer. So go to footer, add a widget. Let's see that we can add navigation menu. From here we can choose which one to use. And just to show you what it looks like, I'll click the main menu. Now in the footer we also have our menu item here as well. When we're done, we click done. Go back. We're done with widgets, so we'll go back again. Now let's look at our home page settings. You can either show your latest posts on your home page, or what a lot of people like to do is they want to show a static page on their home page. You'll want to create the static page first, but to show you what I'm talking about, I'll click the About Us. And now the About Us page will be on the front. And you'll also want to create a new page where all of the blog posts are. To do that, let's go ahead and create a new page. We'll call it blog. Add that. And now the posts will be added to the blog page. Let's click back on here. And if you had some additional CSS, some custom CSS to change your website with, you can add that custom CSS here as well. Since we added that blog page, let's quickly go to menus and add that blog page to there. So go to the menu, main, add item, and I want to add this one. And I can move it, so I'm going to move it up there like that. You see it's changing over here. And I like how everything looks, so let's click publish. Now that I click publish, everything is live on my site. And you can see it in action when I click on there. You see my food site has the static about us page as that. When I click on blog, that is where all of the posts are going. And that's how you can customize your site. When you're finished with that, we can exit out of here. And then it takes us back into the dashboard area. Now that we've set up our website and adjusted the theme to customize it how we want, I want to go ahead and show you how to install and activate plugins. Like I said before, plugins are like little apps that make your site do more things than it could before. For instance, if you wanted to set up an e-commerce site, there's a plugin for that. There are 2 plugins we will install, and that will be a contact form plugin and a social media icons plugin. I'm going to go ahead and maximize my screen, and then let's head over to our plugins area, add new, and the first one we want to install is WP Forms. Now WP Forms Lite comes pre-installed on all current Bluehost hosting accounts, so you probably already have this installed. But I just want to go through the process of finding a plugin, installing it, and configuring it. This is the one we want. Many plugins either are free or they are premium plugin, or there's some that are freemium where you get the basic tools that you need with the plugin, and then if you need more, then you can do that. And WP Forms is one of those type of freemium plugins. And we will want to use that to install a basic contact us form, so that'll work out well. So you see I installed it and then activated it. I'm not ready to show you that yet. I want to actually install the other plugin as well, so I'm going to go back to plugins, add new, and we're looking for simple social icons. With most websites, you usually see all of your icons over to the right in the sidebar, and this just is an easy way to set that up. So this is the one we're looking for. I want to install it and activate it. Now that we've installed those, you see those here. You also see for WP Forms we have a tab over here to work from. We'll set up the form now. So I'm going to go to my forms, add new. We'll give it a name. You see, even with the free plugin, there are some templates that we can choose from. It makes it really simple to create the contact form. So I'm going to click on that template, and it's a very basic one, but it's everything that we need. We have the name, email, comment, and then submit. You can change all of this to say whatever you want it to say. I like to change this from first to last to just a simple name with one text field. And clicking on the button, you can actually change what the button says. I'll show you what that looks like. That looks pretty good, so we're going to save that. And now let's exit out of here. And we want to add this form to our contact page. So we're going over to pages, all pages. We need to edit the contact us. And you see we now have a new button up here since we've installed it. Makes it very easy to add. So I'm going to go at the end of the line. I'm going to start a new line. Click add form. This is the form that we want. I'm not going to show the form name or the description. I just want to add that. And it adds this bit of code here. You don't want to change that. We'll just update the page. And now I can show you what it looks like. Very nice. Very easy as well. So let's head back and I'll show you how to set up the... So let's head back and I'll show you how to set up these social media icons as well. For those, that's going to be a widget. We want to go to our appearance, widgets area. And before I showed you this area under the customize, I actually prefer using the widgets area. It just seems easier to see everything that I want to see in one location. So we want to add the simple social icons here. I'm going to left click, drag it. And I want to drag it up here. We can give it a title. We want the links to open in a new window because we don't want them to leave our site. You can select all the colors of the icon here. I'll leave it as that. You want to add all of the URLs to all of the social networks that you're a part of. Once we're done, let's go ahead and click Save. And now we've set up 2 different plugins for our site. And take a look at it and show you what it looks like. And you see very simple icons for our social media networks that we're a part of. One last thing I want to show you is down here at the settings area. You want to make sure that there are a couple of things that are set up for your website. So let's go into Settings, General. And here is where your site title is and the tagline. You could also change that under the Appearance Customize section, but you can do that here as well. Here's where you also add your email address for the site. And if you want to set people up so that they can log in to register for your site, then you can do that here. We're going to leave that off. We don't want people registering. Under writing, you can set up the default post category for all of your posts here. And if you want to add new categories, just go under Posts, Categories, and you can add those there. For the reading section, on your blog post page, it will show the 10 most recent posts. So you can do that. For each article in the feed, you want to decide if you want full text or summary. Most sites do summary, so that's a good one. And you want to make sure that this is not checked. You want search engines to find your site, so make sure that this is not checked. Otherwise, many of the search engines like Google might have a hard time finding your site. When you're done with everything, just click Save Changes. And then the final thing I want to show you are the permalinks. The permalinks is the structure that your site is. Right now, the URL address is showing with date and timestamp for my blog post. I don't really like that because it's just too long and cumbersome. And if I ever want to update any of these posts, then that can get a little confusing for people. So for me, I prefer having a very simple post name structure. So it's just bringing in the title of the post when I'm writing it. So I'm happy with that. So then we'll come down here and save our changes. Congratulations, you did it. With this tutorial, you've installed a hosting account, created your domain name, installed WordPress, and you now have a working website that you can customize and make your own and build off of. And you did it all in under 30 minutes.